1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay, hello, internet world. It's like late at night. I don't know how late, probably 11 or something like that. Anyway, I drank some coffee, so I'm still awake. So I was gonna do this tomorrow as the precursor to the next Dawson and Joshie. Why did I make names that are hard to say together? I'm gonna do the next Dawson and Joshie story tomorrow, which is all about cowboy movies, and the world they inhabit. But, for now, oh, let me put this here. Yeah, that'll be alright. For now, I'm going to read this instead of saving it for the beginning of that. Because it's really, really short. This will be a short-ass video. Only 5 pages. He couldn't really say how, and this has nothing to do with the Cowboys. This is just a random fucking thing I found when I was going through my shelf. He couldn't really say how long he had lived there in the little log cabin on the edge of the woods, ever since she had seen him, back leaning on the wall of the 7-Eleven, chain-smoking, waiting on death to come and collect him for his tarred lungs, unless by some miracle that wouldn't be his fate. Since then, the vest remained on his back, the holster on his hip, and the wide-brimmed hat on his head, and surely he still walked out there somewhere. Girl. Surely he still walked out there somewhere. Out with the saloons, horses, and hot noons, the guns and whiskey. Oh, I guess this does have something to do with cowboys. That's kind of funny. That's just a chance. The guns and whiskey, reliving over and over again that same old life, and completely unaware that at the same time as walking in those spurred boots, he was also here, living an entire other life in this cabin on the edge of the woods. Was a man fortunate if he lived 2 lives? He may have philosophized on that idea if he had any knowledge of the situation. Today the morning was warm. The cabin's shade and the cold water he used to rinse his face were welcoming and cool, instead of an icy chill as it often was. He stepped out into little shapes of sun, dappling the ground, falling through openings between the tree leaves, places where only light could go, listening to jays call and seeing their streak of long blue tail flutter from branch to branch, listening and watching as he pissed into the forest grass. That's funny. For a second I thought it said passed, like he was just walking, but then I'm like, nah, he's pissing. That's cool, whatever. I have to piss when I wake up too. A day as beautiful as this must either end wonderfully or awfully, he mused to himself. And wonderful and awful can be sometimes like the same thing. He laughed at himself slightly for that thought. Just a little puff of breath leaving his dry mouth. It was a bit too lofty and mystical of a thought for one dusty little slightly overaged cowboy. The heat began to grow. Even from beneath the shadows of the trees, the earth was turning. The sun climbing above him, the creek seemed to call to the man silently, putting thoughts into his head. Walk in me, cool in me. The cabin door had no lock or key. It had never needed one, so unlike the grasping, slinking, thieving life of the dusty wild, wild west. Oh, wait, so unlike. Okay. Go down to the creek, go downhill to that place. He could hear the water's voice talking to him from far away. He didn't mind a bit of a walk, to soak up the warmth of the day. The air had been too cold for too long anyway. Then at last he could see it, once he had gone far enough, down the gentle slope of the long hill, and down along across the open grass field. There, where the trees began again, the rocks lined the bed of clear water that ran down in a ditch, continuously downhill, gradually over each little lip in the land. That clean flow full of water, striders and tadpoles, clear and shallow enough to see straight through. And that's it. Alright, not even 5 minutes. Awesome. Alright, good night. I'll come back tomorrow with another Dawson and Joshie, the cowboy episode. I'm excited. And then after that is the sci-fi one. Oh my god.